Have you ever dreamed of turning your absolute passion for travel into a real deal business? I mean, it's an amazing idea, right? But let's be real. The travel industry is a massive trillion-dollar ocean. So how do you go from just dreaming about it to actually doing it? Well, today, we're going to map out a clear path to get you from that dream to reality, step by step.
And this quote from Mohammed Tajim, man, it just nails it. You can't just dive in and hope for the best. The market is absolutely huge, and without the right tools and a solid strategy, you're just going to be splashing around. So what's the net you need to actually catch those fish?
It's this. This number right here is the key, 15 to 30%. You know what that is? That's the potential jump in your profit margin if you specialize instead of trying to be everything to everyone. So the very first, and I mean the most important part of your plan, is to stop trying to serve the entire ocean and find your own perfect, profitable little pond.
Which brings us right to the first big question you have to answer. You don't want to be just another travel agent. You want to be the go-to expert for a very specific type of travel. This is how you build a loyal following, face way less competition, and actually market yourself effectively.
So where's the action right now? What I love about these niches is that they show you what modern travelers really care about. Sustainable tourism, it's exploding as people get more eco-conscious. Wellness travel is huge because people are prioritizing self-care like never before. And adventure travel is just skyrocketing as people hunt for unique experiences, not just things. These aren't just passing trends, they're major currents shaping the entire market.
Okay, so how do you pick one? It's a pretty simple four-step process. First, just start with you. What kind of travel gets you fired up? What are your hobbies? Your own experience is your single biggest asset. Then, do a little research. See if people are actually out there searching for your idea. Third, scope out the competition. What are they missing? Where's the gap? And finally, just test it. Plan a trip for a friend, write a blog post about it, and see what kind of buzz you get.
Okay, so you've picked your pond. You're going to be the expert in, say, luxury safaris or solo backpacking trips for women. Fantastic. But that's just the what. The next big question is the how. How do you actually build the business around that brilliant idea?
Here is a quick break. If you want to master the digital marketing secrets to grow your travel agency business and get hundreds of leads, I've created a complete step-by-step guide which you can download for free from the link in the description box. Now, let's continue.
This brings us to the blueprint. There are a few different ways you can go about structuring your agency, and honestly, each one has its own pros and cons. We're going to focus on the two most common routes for people just starting out. On one side, you've got host agencies. These are a fantastic option if you want to keep startup costs low and get quick access to suppliers. The catch? You'll be splitting your commission with them. On the other side, you have franchises. You get instant brand recognition and a proven marketing plan, but that comes with much higher upfront fees and royalties you have to pay every month. It's a classic trade-off between how much you spend and how much support you get. Now let's get down to the brass tacks. A little reality check. No matter which model you choose, there are some basic costs and legal requirements you absolutely cannot skip. This is the stuff that makes your business official and, keeps you out of trouble. And this table perfectly illustrates that financial difference. If you go independent, working from home, you could get started for as little as $600 to maybe $2,500 in your first year. But if you choose the support of a host or a franchise, you're looking at a much bigger range, somewhere between $3,000 and $12,000. See how with a host or franchise, things like your website and booking software are often included? That's what you're paying that premium for. And when we talk about the legal side, this part is critical. 5 states have something called seller of travel laws. If you are located in California, Florida, Hawaii, Iowa, or Washington, or, and this is important, if you plan to sell travel to anyone who lives in these states, you have to register with them. California's law is known for being the toughest, so definitely do your homework here.
So, you've picked your niche, you've chosen a business model, and you've handled all the legal paperwork. Your agency officially exists. But an agency with no clients is really just a hobby, right? So the next huge challenge is, how do you get that very first booking? The answer, not surprisingly, is in the digital world. Today's travelers live online. They find inspiration on Instagram, they do their research on blogs, and they look for experts on Google. Your launchpad has to be a strong, strategic online presence, period. And a good plan can be broken down into 3 pretty simple phases. First, you build your foundation with a solid brand and a professional, easy-to-use website.
Second, you attract your audience, using things like SEO to show up in search results and social media to show off your expertise. And third, you nurture that interest with email marketing and then convert it into actual sales with some targeted paid ads.
All right, now we get to pop the hood and look at the engine room. This is the core mechanic of how a travel agency actually works, and most importantly, how you're going to make money. It all comes down to your relationships with suppliers.
So who are these suppliers? Well, they're the companies that actually provide all the pieces of the trips you sell. We're talking airlines, hotels, cruise lines, tour operators. They're your partners. You don't own the hotel or the airline. You're the expert curator who puts their services together into an amazing package for your client.
And how do you get paid? The magic word here is commission. When you book a hotel room or a cruise for a client, the supplier pays you a fee, which is just a percentage of that booking's total value. This is the main way most travel agents make their money.
But if you're with a host agency, you don't keep all of that commission. As you can see on this chart, you share it. A 50-50 split is pretty rare these days, thankfully. What's way more common for a new agent is a 70-30 split, where you keep 70%. Then, as you get more experience and sell more, you can work your way up to an 80-20 split or even higher. This is a super important detail when you're trying to figure out how much you can actually earn. So, as we wrap this up, let's just boil it all down to the core formula. Success in this business isn't random. It's built on 3 pillars. Specialization, which is all about finding your niche. Smart partnerships, which means choosing the right business model and suppliers. And strategic planning, which covers your costs, your legal setup, and of course, your marketing.
You now have the map. You have the step-by-step guide to navigate all the complexities of starting your very own travel agency. All the practical pieces are right here. So really the only question left to answer is the one that probably got you started on this dream in the first place. Where do you want to go first?